This is a review of the movie Moon. And I know this has been out for a while, but since one of my greatest and nicest subscribers, Cessna Driver, actually took the time to mail the movie to me because it hasn't been released in Romania, I figured that the least I could do is do a proper review of it. And I think really the more people know about Moon and the more people want to watch it, the better, because movies like this should definitely be promoted better and more people should know about it. The thing about Moon is that it's a simple, elegant science fiction movie, and I always say this about movies and I always say about life in general, is that simpler is always better. Simple in this case drives the point home, it makes you understand, but at the same time it doesn't spoon feed you information. It leaves you with questions, but that's a good thing because it's not the stupid kind of questions. It's the kind of questions that generate conversation and that generate introspection, and the kind of questions that make you think about things that maybe you wouldn't have thought about before. Moon really is that kind of a movie. It doesn't have special effects to rely on, it doesn't have a big budget, it can't blow you away, but it does have a very strong story. It relies on the story and on the great performance from Sam Rockwell. The thing about Sam Rockwell is that he's the kind of actor where no matter what role you're going to give him, he's always going to have some humanity shining through. There's always going to be some charisma that draws you in, and that's so much more important in a role like this where he is in such an alien environment, in an environment that is so sterile, there's no warmth, there's no humanity, that everything that makes him special as an actor, since always, it's all the more potent in this environment that he's being put in. And I think that's a very big part of why Sam Rockwell's performance is so amazing in this movie. One thing that I really loved was the mix of past, present, and future, because really the action takes place in the future, but it's a future that is very familiar to us because Sam watches episodes of old TV shows, and Gertie the computer communicates with him through the use of emoticons. And when you get to it, really, Sam just has a really crummy job, and we kind of relate with him because of that. Okay, there's a lot more going on in his head and in his environment, but that's really what it's about. He just has a really crappy job. Technically, the movie impressed me with its polished look. I was surprised to hear that it only cost $5 million to make. The soundtrack was also very good. It's not the kind of score that really you can hum after it or that really stays with you, but during the time that I watched the movie, it really added gravitas to some of the scenes. I don't think that Moon is by any means a perfect movie. Like I said, it is a simple science fiction movie that you watch for the pleasure of watching it, not because you think it's going to be the greatest movie you will ever see. For instance, one of the things that I think should have been better highlighted is the opposition. Who are the guys who did make Sam? Who are the guys who did hire Sam? Who are the guys behind this corporation? Because really we are so much part of Sam's life and his tragedy and his isolation, and we see so much of it through his eyes that you kind of forget that, you know, his job is actually very important, and the fuel he sends to Earth actually makes life better for probably millions of people, and maybe there's really a reason for him being there and things being the way they are. And I think that maybe they should have kind of just let us in on the other side of the fence. But really at the end there are so many open-ended questions, like what will happen to the clone after 3 years? Will he die like the other clones before him? Why did Gertie the computer help Sam, and what happened to the real Sam? Did he know what was going on up there on the moon with people being made from his DNA? But really those are kind of questions that kind of just leave part of the movie to your imagination, and in some way you do feel more engaged in it.